need more money, connections, associations, and what you would call a relaxed mind? Have you ever wondered why some folks are regarded as high flyers and successful people with results to show? You know the names. It's been found out that the difference between these high flyers and successful people is mindsets and how they think. Welcome to Baseline Beats with Benga. Here is this week's episode.
Who else fancies eating more than cooking? Reasons range for different people, and I'll tell you mine. I think about the typical and average cooking process. Dice, condiments like onions, peppers, tomatoes. Depending on what and how you want to cook, most likely engage in some frying. Some go to the extent of doing that deeply. Add ingredients, cook some more, and chill for the food to get done. Depending on what it is you want to cook, this could range from minutes to hours. Now listen to this. All that you have cooked get consumed in minutes, sometimes very paltry amount of minutes. You see why I fancy eating in comparison to cooking now? Well, introductions at this point. I am Benga. Just to mention, there is absolutely nothing wrong with cooking. Well, I'm not sure if that depends on how long it takes. Shouldn't be though. So, you should have an idea of what it is I want to talk about. Nutrition and the importance that it plays in your well-being and a typical day. Let me take you back to one of the things I learned about nutrition that has stood the test of time. What is nutrition and why is it important? Nutrition is the science that interprets the nutrients and other substances in food in relation to maintenance, growth, reproduction, as well as health. It includes ingestion, absorption, assimilation, biosynthesis, catabolism, and excretion. Well, let's not bore ourselves with scientific terms. I'm sure someone is rolling his head and like, okay, what's all this? So, to put in simple terms, the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth, that is what nutrition is. You see, there is a key word here, necessary. What then are the benefits of good and adequate nutrition? Why must you eat well? An Irish proverb says, laughter is biggest where food is best. Have you noticed that when you go to engagements and gatherings where food is aplenty, you find people jesting, enjoying themselves, laughing off the moment? That proverb is definitely right. Oh yeah, I love songs that make a reference to food and adequate nutrition. You'd love this one. One Chop by Dija. Stick around.
Where you, baby? Come here, baby. They call me Dija.
Don Jazzy.
You looking like you want chop. Boy, you looking like you want chop. If I put it on a platter and I serve it very hot, oh, I swear you go one chop. Oh. I put some caramel on top. Oh. I put some vanilla on top. Oh. If I serve it very nice and I serve it very hot, oh, I swear you go one chop, oh. Oh, you can't chop, oh. Oh, you can't chop, oh. Oh, you can't chop. It's my duty to feed my baby. Oh, yeah, baby, can't chop, oh. Oh, baby, this one no be small chop. Oh, baby, this one you be lick cause it's meant for only very big shots. And you are there at the right spot. Baby, the meat and everything's soft. Even the peppers that be there hot. I got the spice that you need and it tastes very sweet like say sugar they on top. He said he wants another round, he wants another round. He said I may be number one in town. He like the way that I whine and I wiggle. Said I make him wanna fly like an eagle. Then the boys start ring-a-ring-a-ring-ing, oh. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-ing. He said he like the way I pop it and the thing I put on top it, so he thinks I'm the last boss stop. You looking like you want chop. Boy, you looking like you want chop. If I put it on a platter and I serve it very hot, so I swear you go one chop, oh. I put some caramel on top, oh. I put some vanilla on top, oh. If I serve it very nice and I serve it very hot, so I swear you go one chop, oh. Oh, you can't chop, oh. Oh, you can't chop, oh. Oh, you can't chop. It's my duty to feed my baby. Oh, yeah, baby, can't chop, oh. He said this is so amazing, eh, eh. Say it is tantalizing, eh, eh. Say customer, I am waiting. Why you keep a gentleman salivating? I can't wait to have your delicacy. Your food is very sweet and very tasty. Oh, one chop. can't chop if you wanna come chop. Get the chocolate, the vanilla flavor. Baba mi odu okaju, tell me baby jagbadu. Baba mi odu okaju, baby you get my number. Then the boys start ring-a-ring-a-ringing. That feeling sing-a-ling-a-ling. He said he liked the way I pop it and the thing I put on top it, so he thinks I'm the last bus stop. You looking like you want chop, boy you looking like you want chop. If I put it on a platter and I serve it very hot, so I swear you go one chop. Oh. I put some caramel on top, oh. I put some vanilla on top. Oh. If I serve it very nice, then I serve it very hot, so I swear you go one chop. Oh, I can't chop, oh. I can't chop, oh. I can't chop. It's my duty to feed my baby. Oh yeah, baby can't chop, oh.
Thanks for staying here, and the discourse today is centered on good and adequate nutrition. What benefits do you stand to gain when you eat well? What importance and impact would it have on your day? It's been said that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and for very obvious reasons. You get energized for the day. It will definitely suffice at this point in time to look at a few benefits to eating well and adequately. You see, eating well is something, but the adequacy with which you eat is also very, very key. So what benefits are there to eating well and adequately? Number one, good mood. There are evidences emerging that suggests a close relationship between diet and mood. In 2016, you need to listen to this. Researchers found that a diet with high glycemic load may cause increased symptoms of depression and fatigue. I feel good and happy when I eat well and get energized for a typical day. Should be the same for you. I mentioned before of how when you go to a typical party, in tandem with that Irish proverb of how you find that people talk, jest, just all happy and sometimes carefree, not thinking about the challenge or the problem that they might have. And so, when you eat well, you set the tone and get energized for a typical day. Do not know that while a healthful diet may improve overall mood, it is essential for people with depression to seek medical care. That is not one of the things you can get on air. You'd have to see a medical practitioner to adequately address the problem of depression. Let's move on. Improved memory is also a benefit that you get from adequate dieting. A study from 2015 has found that nutrients and foods protect against adverse effects that would relate to not thinking sharp. You see, when a person is not well fed, how would he or she remember stuff? This underpins the importance of eating well. I recall some time ago when I had to interface with some colleagues at work and I had not eaten, and coming back from the place where I went to eat, I felt good, I felt energized. I had to tell them, now I can engage in energetic activities, because up until that time it was just about get something to eat. So adequate nutrition and meal definitely energizes you. Next up is the fact that it has also been found that a good night's sleep can be disrupted if you do not eat well. Whenever it is that you starve, you've not had dinner, you've not eaten well, and you are hungry in the process, you rarely get to sleep. You toss from one side of the bed to the other and just wriggle on the bed. Why? Because you have not eaten. When you eat, sleep comes easy. Let's move on, and I find this expedient to mention. The health of the next generation might depend on you eating well. Children learn most health-related behaviors from adults around them. Parents, as well as guardians who model healthful eating, tend to pass them on. Eating at home may help. Listen to this. Guy Fieri said, cooking is all about people. Food is maybe the only universal thing that really has the power to bring everyone together. No matter what culture, everywhere around the world, people eat together. He is spot on. When you get to a place where there is that thing to munch, there is an adequate meal, munching and eating well, that is why I've been pretty particular to mention that it's about nutrition and eating well. And so, when you get to a place where there is food and nutrition in the adequate dimension and quantity, You find that people just want to gather. They just want to be fine. It's a place where people are easy and are eager to come into and just mingle with others. To end this, Paul Prudhomme said, "You don't need a silver fork to eat good food." That's right. Some just go ahead to use hands, especially if you're Nigerian, and some delicacies that would not exactly pass the adequate experience to eating if you try to use some cutlery to do that. There's nothing wrong with using the cutlery, but of course, just know what works for you. I value your feedback as much as possible. Reach out to me via social media on Twitter and Instagram at Ben_Olugbenga. That is at BEN_OLUGBENGA. Until next time, eat well and have a fantastic day.
Baseline Beats with Benga is a wrap for this week. For questions, concerns, and feedback, reach him on Twitter and Instagram at Ben_Olugbenga. Until Baseline Beats with Benga comes away again next week, keep winning and enjoy the rest of the week.